Silent hearts, loud shadows. In the heart of a city that never slept, where shadows lurked in every corner, lived a young artist named Lily. By day, her world was a swirl of vibrant colors, but by night, those colors faded, leaving behind only the haunting echoes of solitude. Her tiny studio, perched atop an old, creaking building, felt like a sanctuary until it didn't. As darkness fell each evening, the silence around her grew louder, pressing in, wrapping around her like a cold, suffocating blanket. She'd paint furiously, trying to drown out the gnawing emptiness. But the shadows always crept back in. One night, as Lily fought her demons with brushstrokes and splashes of color, a flicker of movement outside her window caught her eye. Across the street, in the building shrouded in mystery, a light had come on a rare occurrence in a place where secrets seemed to thrive. There, in the soft glow, stood a man, staring back at her. His presence was like a sudden jolt to her heart, a shock that sent adrenaline racing through her veins. His name was Ethan, a writer whose life had been a maze of words and untold stories. He had come to this city seeking inspiration but found only the same suffocating silence that Lily knew all too well. The nights were long and the darkness often felt impenetrable until he saw her. For weeks their eyes met in fleeting moments, glances that lingered just a second too long, breaths that caught in their throats. They were strangers, yet the connection between them was undeniable. A magnetic pull neither could resist. But neither dared to make the first move. The fear of shattering the fragile thread between them held them back, even as the intensity of their silent exchanges grew with each passing day. Then, one night, a storm like no other descended upon the city. The wind howled, the rain lashed against the windows, and the power went out, plunging the world into a black, unforgiving void. Lily's heart raced, the darkness amplifying every sound, every shadow. She felt more alone than ever. Her sanctuary now a prison of fear. But just as the fear threatened to overwhelm her, a single light pierced through the darkness, the flickering glow of a candle from Ethan's window. It was like a lifeline, pulling her back from the edge of despair. She rushed to her window, her hands trembling as she looked across the street. Ethan stood there, his face bathed in the soft, wavering light. He raised his hand slowly, a piece of paper held against the glass. On it were the words, "Are you okay?" Lily's heart pounded, her mind racing with 1,000 thoughts. She grabbed her sketchpad, her fingers barely able to hold the pencil as she scribbled her reply, "Yes." But scared, she pressed it against the window, her breath held tight as she waited for his response. Ethan nodded, his expression one of determination. He quickly wrote back, "I'm here," and in that moment, despite the storm raging outside, Lily felt a glimmer of hope, a warmth that began to thaw the icy fear in her chest. From that night on, their silent exchanges became more frequent, more desperate, as if they were clinging to each other through the void. They shared their deepest fears, their anxieties, the things that kept them awake at night. And with each message, the distance between them seemed to shrink, replaced by a bond forged in the fires of fear and the relief of connection. One evening, as the storm clouds gathered again, Ethan's message was different. It was bolder, more urgent. "Dinner tomorrow," it said, the letters large and unmistakable. The question hung in the air like a challenge, a leap into the unknown. Lily's heart raced, the anxiety clawing at her. But beneath it, there was something else of fierce, burning hope. With a deep breath, she wrote back, her hand steady for the first time, "Yes." The next evening, as the storm loomed on the horizon, they finally met in the dimly lit doorway of her building. The air crackled with tension, excitement, and a hint of fear. They were strangers in every sense, yet their hearts beat in time, driven by the same desperate need for connection. Over dinner they spoke for the first time, their voices carrying the weight of all that had been left unsaid. The conversation was tentative at first, like walking on a tightrope over a chasm, but soon it flowed, filled with laughter, shared memories, and the relief of not being alone. As the night wore on, the storm finally broke, the rain pounding against the windows, but inside, there was warmth, a light that neither the darkness nor the storm could extinguish. They had found each other in the silence, in the fear, in the shadows that had once threatened to consume them. And so, what began as a silent connection across darkened windows blossomed into a love that was fierce, unyielding, and filled with the kind of joy that only comes after knowing true fear. They had faced the darkness together, and in doing so, found the light they had both been searching for. Because sometimes the greatest love stories are born not in the light, but in the shadows where hearts beat loudest, and where even in the darkest of nights, hope can be found. Thanks you all for being here and listening to this beautiful story. Don't forget to like, comment, and mostly subscribe to be part of this young community. Until next time, stay blessed and be just.